this is side 2 of the triangle congruency notes. So now we're given two triangles that are congruent, and we actually want to put measurements in with them. But we're going to want to follow the same kind of process that we did on the previous page. So I need to figure out what's congruent. So here I have STW. So ST, I'm going to mark, is going to be congruent to BF. So I mark that. And then I see that TW, which is right here, is congruent to FN. So I'm going to put 2 markings on that. And then my last one are going to be my ends. So I've got SW is 3 and BN is 3. Right, so now I come over here. I also have maybe some missing angle measures, but let's look at that too. So angle S is going to be congruent to angle B. Angle T, I'm going to do 2 markings on that, is congruent to angle F. And then angle N is going to be congruent to angle W. So 3 markings there and 3 there. Okay, so now I'm ready to answer some questions about actual numbers here. So I see that BN is congruent to SW, so I'm just going to put a 9 there and say 9 centimeters. TW, where I have 2, is going to be equal to 14. I think these are much easier if you just mark your triangles and then you can start filling in. BF is going to be equal to ST, and so that's 17. All right, and then for our angle measures, I can see that, again, see if I can fit it all in. Angle W right here is going to be congruent to angle N. So this is going to be 82 degrees. And then angle B is going to be congruent to angle S, so that's 67 degrees. And then I think for the last one, angle F, where we have 2, we don't know either of those angle measures, but we can figure those out by taking 180 minus our 82 degrees minus our 67 degrees. So when I do that, 180 minus 82 minus 67, I'm going to get 31 degrees. Okay. All right. So on this next one here, I would like for you to go ahead and work this one out on your own, and then we'll check it. All right, so for this one, it's similar except for the fact that they threw in an isosceles triangle where we have 2 sides that are congruent. So when you're filling out your markings based on your triangle and the order of your letters, you're just going to find that like GH is congruent to XY, and those just have 1 marking. And HJ is also congruent to YZ, and that was congruent to that one, so we're just going to leave the 1 marking there and then label that as 1. And then these 2 have 2 markings. The other thing that maybe was tricky was here they gave us, this is 38 degrees. I know on an isosceles triangle that I have 180 minus 38 would give me the total for these 2, and these 2 have to be equal, so I divide it by 2 and got 71. All right, and then once I have all that filled in, I can figure out what my answers are going to be. Now we're going to throw a little bit of algebra into it. So again, I'm going to mark it. If I've got UV, I know is congruent to TS. And I have VW is going to be congruent to SR. And then my last one, the UW, is congruent to TR. Okay, now once I have that set up, I want to find the values of X, Y, and Z. So I look at my my first congruent marking, so I've got 12x minus 7 is equal to 53. And then to find the Y, I have my 2 congruent markings here, so 5y minus 33 is equal to 57. And then I'm going to take my last one, which is the 3 markings, and that's 3z plus 14 is equal to 50. Okay, and so when you do the math on that, you're going to get x is equal to 5, y is equal to 18, and z is equal to 12. Okay, so go ahead and try number 7. This one is just utilizing angles that are congruent, and you're going to be setting them equal to each other. Okay, here are the answers to this one. The one thing that you would have needed to calculate was one of the angles wasn't given. So if you take 180 minus the 115 minus the 36, that gave you the other angle that was congruent to angle F. So angle S right here was 29 degrees. So that's how we got that. All right, then we're going to do another one with some algebra here. So I know that DE is congruent to JL. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to use that one actually. I'm going to say DF because they don't give us that one. So I've got DF is congruent to JL. So if I use DF is congruent to JL, then I can set up my equation so that DF is 9x minus 23 is equal to JL, which is 7x minus 11. And then we do the algebra on that. We get x is equal to 6. And then I've got JK is equal to DE. And so for that one, JK and DE, oh, that's where I had JK and DE. That is going to be 3y minus 21 is equal to 18. Okay, and so y is equal to 13. So you might want to, on the next one when you do it, draw out your triangle, but you're just doing the same thing. You're figuring out what segments are congruent, and then you're setting them equal. So they might give you more information than you need up there. You just want to make sure you grab the parts that are actually congruent. For this last one, you're going to draw your triangle, and then you want to, again, you're going to have to fill in some degrees maybe that they didn't give you by taking 180 minus the other 2 degrees, and you're going to have to look through and figure out what segments are congruent based on what they gave you. So in the end, these are the setups that you're going to have, and x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 4. Okay, so that concludes our notes for today. What I would like for you to do next is get the homework. It is on the bookshelf. You can go ahead and grab both of them if the row leaders would get them and pass both of them down. You're going to have homework number 3 and homework number 4. I'd like for you to do all of those problems so you can use your class time to do all the problems. And if you finish, I have a scavenger hunt that is taped up around the room, and you can work on this scavenger hunt on your own sheet of paper if you finish all of the homework. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.